Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Jen, aka Diamond Queen 2020. Welcome to my Christmas, Boxing Day premiere. Christmas premiere, but this is going to be Unboxing Day. Yay! So, we're going to talk about Christmas, we're going to talk about just different things. Talk about my life, how I've been doing, which has somewhat not been that great, but I'm hanging in there, which we'll get to that. So let's talk about Christmas traditions. The one tradition that we have in my family is something we didn't do this year. We normally watch Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, but we didn't do that this year, so I guess it's not part of our traditions anymore. I don't know, but usually every year we watch that movie. But every year my mom has celebrates Christmas with us the week before Christmas. So everybody can be with like their other significance, family, or if they're married, they could be with their in-laws, or whatever it is, so they can spend time with the other part of their life, or they can stay home and celebrate Christmas just being home. This year is a little bit different because obviously COVID. We still got together, but we kept the windows open and the door was open, and there was a lot of ventilation because having as many people together, we didn't have more than 10 people in the same place, which I think is the limit right now. It's 10 people. So I don't even think we had 10 people. We had 4. Let's see. Well, we had 11 people in the same place, but 4 of them were kids. And kids are usually exempt from this ordeal. So really we had 7 adults and 4 kids. So it wasn't bad. I mean, we weren't too worried about it, I guess. But, so my mom celebrates the weekend before Christmas, which is awesome. I just spend 2 days with my mom and my sister and my brother and my sister's boyfriend. My brother's, he was married, but now he has a girlfriend. She's a sweetheart, so we got to spend time with her 2 kids, and my brother's 2 kids. And me and my fiance, and my mom and stepdad. So we had fun, and we enjoyed we didn't let COVID stop us from being together. It's just, we had to, freeze the house down, basically, because it was cold outside, and had to keep ventilation going, because, with more than one household in the same room, we had to make sure that it was, somewhat safe. As safe as we can keep it. So yeah, that's my Christmas tradition, I guess. Spending the weekend before Christmas with my mom and stepdad, sister, brother, and their significant others. And it's fun. I enjoyed it. So, and then on Christmas Day, my fiance and I get up. We usually get up pretty early because, we're excited about opening these gifts that are underneath that tree right now. But it's our first year being in an apartment together. And hopefully it all works out in the end. We're gonna get up, open gifts, after we open gifts, we're probably going to be going back to bed, back to sleep, or just lounging around. I'll be down in painting, or actually what I'm going to be doing probably is watching the premieres. Their premieres is what I'm probably be watching. So, the other thing I could talk about is my biggest memory of Christmas, which is kind of sad, but it's happy to a point too. My grandfather, who passed away in 2004, was like my dad. He was like a father to me. He took care of me. He helped me out when I lost the tip of my left thumb. Yes, I don't have the tip of my left thumb. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. Some of you guys do probably, and some of you guys don't. But now you know. Well, when I lost the tip of my left thumb, he offered to help out, like wrapping my hand up and stuff. And of course, you know, me being a little brat and 18 and thinking I know everything, said, "No, I'll do it, Grandpa, no big deal." He's like, "What? I had 7 kids. You don't think I know how to wrap up a wound?" I'm like, "I didn't say that, Grandpa." So, that's a good memory. But this one's a Christmas memory that I have that I'll probably never forget, obviously. But, it was like a week before Christmas or something like that. And I said to my grandpa, "It's almost Christmas. Aren't you excited?" He said, "No, not really." I was like, "Why not? It's Christmas." He goes, "Because I know it's going to be my last." And I said, "Oh." He's like, "Yeah, I know it's going to be my last Christmas with you guys." And I guess it made him sad knowing that his time on this earth was coming to an end. He turned 72 that Christmas because his birthday is on Christmas Day. So you can only imagine how rough Christmas can be sometimes. He was a Christmas baby, and the best Christmas baby there ever could be. He definitely helped out the family and did things to help out everybody. He was always there to lend you a hand if you needed it. I mean, even when you didn't need it, he was there to lend you a hand. But, I sat beside him, and that's when he told me he wanted Christmas to be over. And that broke my heart because, I mean, hearing my grandpa say it's his last Christmas with us broke my heart regardless. But then hearing him say, then hearing him say that he just wanted it to be over with. And I understand. I mean, I understood what he was saying. He just wanted it to be over with so he didn't have to think about, you know, basically he was dying. My grandpa was diagnosed with breast cancer. And yeah, the cancer went away for a little bit, for about like a month or two. And then he went back to the doctor, and the doctor looked at him and said, "There's nothing else I could do for you." Basically, he was telling my grandpa, "Go home and die. There's nothing else we can do." So my mom entered him into hospice. I think he was already in hospice at this point. But they quit the hospice because he didn't need it. He was cancer-free. So my mom put him back in hospice so the nurses could help us out, you know, taking care of him. My mom worked basically full time. I worked, my stepdad worked, my sister worked. So my grandpa would have been left at the house by himself. Well, with him being as sick as as fast as he got sick, we couldn't leave him at the house by himself. And before he got really sick, he would do things around the house that can be considered dangerous, especially with him, getting sick with cancer. And he lost his balance a few times and fell. He built a room on the house that my mom and stepdad were buying in Georgia. He built a room on it, which was like a sunroom. And when he was building it, he fell off the ladder. He didn't have to go to the hospital or anything, but the neighbor ended up calling my mom and telling her that your father just fell off the ladder at the house. So my mom rushed home to make sure he was okay. Yeah, he got a little bumped and bruised and scraped up a little bit, but nothing he couldn't handle. I mean, told my mom, I'm fine. Leave me alone. Let me go back to building this room for you. Now, this is before he got really sick. He was already sick with cancer, but he wasn't, deathly sick yet. But then, after a while, my mom got in contact with her siblings, her sisters and brothers, and told them, didn't tell them, but talked to them about my grandfather being put into a nursing home, a hospice nursing home, because she could no longer handle taking care of my grandpa, working full time, taking care of, the family. She was overly stressed. So they all agreed it was time to have him go to a nursing home to get the care that he really needed. Yes, my mom felt really bad about doing it. I mean, that's her father, that's her dad. And like me, I've always said, while growing up, I always said that I would have my mom or my dad live with me when they got really, really, old and sick and couldn't live on their own anymore for whatever reason. I would take them in and take care of them. Because, those are your parents. That's how I always felt about it. I don't know if I still feel that way, which, yes, I would give them a room to stay in a heartbeat because, like I said, they're your parents. Nobody replaces your mom or your dad. Even though my grandpa kind of did replace my dad because my dad wasn't really there. So when he got really, really sick, he got put in the nursing home. And I went and seen him a couple of times a week. My sister and I are the last two to see my grandfather alive. We went to visit him. And I don't know why I can't brush this off. But I will always remember what my grandfather said to me the day before he died. Which I guess was not his fault. He was, he was being forgetful and he was really sick. It was probably 12 hours or so before he passed away that he said this. He kept on looking at my sister. We were at the nursing home. He kept looking at my sister and saying, "Grab my shoes. I'm ready to go home." And she kept on saying, "No, Grandpa, you're staying here." But he kept on saying it. And I think what he was saying was he was going to heaven. He was not going to a physical house. He was going home as an up to be God's angel. And I was sitting over on the other side of the room while she was sitting there talking to him. And he pointed at me and he said, "Who is that?" He didn't even know who I was. And that hurt. that like tore at my heartstrings. And I told my sister I was bawling my eyes out when we left. Because I was trying not to cry in front of him, because I mean, you don't want him to feel bad. It's not his fault, he doesn't remember. It's, you know, being ill, being sick. It takes everything away from you, and it sucks. But that's what it does. It just rips your life apart. But so yeah. And she said to him, "That's your granddaughter, Jen." He goes, "Oh, okay." And we sat and visited him for like half an hour, 45 minutes, and then we left. And my mom kept on saying to us that day that she was going to go visit with her dad. Well, for some reason, for one reason or another, she never got the time to go see him. And she still beats herself up for not going to see her father the day before he passed. And he passed that morning. He was gone. He was gone the next morning around. I picked up the phone, which is really weird. I always found it strange to tell people this because they think I'm crazy. I mean, only a few people understand what I'm about to talk about. I had a dream or a vision that my grandfather passed away that night. Or it might have been that morning that I was having this dream. So around 5:30 in the morning, and I had a cordless phone in my room, you know, that hooked up to the house phone, because at the time we had a house phone, which nobody really has anymore. But so the phone rang, and it you know, it woke me up because I sleep really light. Always have. So I woke up and I answered it. And the woman on the other side, I could tell she was kind of sad. Like, had that sad tone to her voice. And she said, "Can I please speak," I'm not going to say my mom's name, but "Can I please speak to your mom?" Well, she said my mom's name, and I said, "Hold on a minute." I handed the phone to my mom. I went back into my room, because I had to get up anyways around that time to get ready for work. I worked at a nursing home. I was a housekeeper at a nursing home. So, the reason why I keep on stopping is because I'm kind of in pain right now. And I'll tell you guys about that in a minute. I'm trying to make this an hour, and it hasn't been an hour yet. Not even close. So, what was I talking about? Oh. So I woke up, it was about 5:30 in the morning. I handed the phone to my mom, because it was, you know, nursing home calling to talk to my mom. And I went back in her room after a few minutes, and the phone was on the bed, laying on the bed, and she was crying. I looked at her, and I said, "He's gone, isn't he?" She goes, "Yeah, he's gone." And I said, "Okay." I said, "I'm gonna go call work and tell him I can't come in. My grandfather just passed away." And my work already knew about him being sick. My mom used to work where I was working at the time. She used to be the DON for the nursing home that I worked at. So I walked away and told work that I was not coming in. And they said, "Don't worry about coming in tomorrow either. Take as long as you need. We know how close you were to your grandfather." Which I was. I mean, like I said, he was kind of like my dad. It was like losing my father. And it was really rough. It took me about two whole years to get over his death. I mean, I'm never gonna get over his death, but I mean, it took me 2 years to actually like start moving on with life. And so yeah. So I don't know what else to talk about when it comes to Christmas. If anybody has anything to say, you guys can in the chat. So what's going on with me? Well, we'll see. I don't know if anybody in the live chat would know what this is or understand what this is, and if you do, maybe we could talk more about it later on. You know, you can message me on Facebook or Instagram or something like that, because I mean, I really need some assistance with what's going on with me, because I don't really understand it. I did some research, but you know what happens when you Google something on Google, it can scare the living daylights out of you. So I'm kind of nervous, scared, and I don't know what to expect. And I'll just start from the beginning. Back in 2019, I turned around to go into the kitchen. We were staying at my fiance's mom and dad's house, because they left a house when they passed away. So my fiance was allowed to stay at the house for basically free, as long as he paid the electric, the gas, the water, the sewer, all the important stuff. So of course he agreed to that, and he stayed there for like 2-3 years, I think. But I was staying with him, and one day we were gonna go, I think we were headed to like the mall or out for breakfast or something. Well, this little event that happened to me kind of changed the whole schedule of what we wanted to go do. It changed everything. So I was sitting on the couch in the front room where the TV was, the TV room, or whatever you want to call it. I stood up. I had my shoes and socks on. So if anyone wants to know how this happened, I really don't know. It's just my luck. Well, I turned around to go into the kitchen to see if he was ready to go. So I was getting my shoes on and my coat on and getting everything together to leave the house. I stood up and I turned around and I kicked the couch with my foot. Yeah, I mean, it felt like I just stubbed my toe, kind of deal. But the pain was not going away. Like after a little bit, after you stub your toe, a little while later, the pain goes away. But this pain was not going away. So I went back in, I turned around, went back into the front sitting room, TV room, and I took my shoe and sock off. And my fiance was in the room with me. He's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I stubbed my toe, and now it really hurts." And of course, I had some cuss words to say when I stubbed it. And I went and sat back down and took my shoe and sock off. And my toe, my ring toe on my right foot, was black, blue, yellow, green, purple. It was every color in the book. I looked up at my fiance and I said, "I just broke my toe." He goes, "Okay, well, let's go to the urgent care," because it was on a Saturday. I remember that. It was on a Saturday or Sunday, so doctors are not open on that day. I think it was actually Sunday, because the next day I went to the foot doctor. So it was on a Sunday. Maybe it was on a Monday. I don't remember. Actually, I don't remember. But so I turned around and we went to the urgent care. I took my shoe and sock back off. And she looked at my foot and said, "Yep, looks like you broke it. Let's do some x-rays and verify that it's broke." She came in, she goes, "Yep, you broke your ring toe." That's all she said. I went to the foot doctor the next day. He looked at the x-ray and he said, "You didn't just break one toe." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I was told us I broke one toe. He goes, "You didn't just break one toe. You were very unlucky with this injury." And I'm like, "Okay." He goes, "You broke your ring toe 2 times, and you broke your pinky toe 1 time." I said, "So I have 2 broken toes." He goes, "You have 3 fractures and 2 broken. You have 3 fractures on 2 toes." He goes, and then he hands me a post-op shoe and says, "This is what you're going to be wearing for the next 6 to 8 weeks." I was like, "Great." I mean, it was not too painful. I survived it. So I went back, a few times, and one time he was like, "Yep, you need to stay in that boot for another week or 2. I was like, "Well, that sucks. That really stinks." But then I went back with my mom. It was before COVID, obviously. It was 2019. And he said, "Okay, well, you're all healed," and everything healed really nice. A clean, beautiful, healed toes. You're all good to go. I still have the shoe somewhere. So, we fast forward to April of 2020, this year. I woke up one day and my right foot, the same foot that was broke, around the same toes that were broke in 2019, November 2019, was numb and asleep. Like tingling, feeling like it's asleep, pins and needles. Pretty painful. And so I was like, okay, my foot's asleep. Whoop-de-doo. Well, it would not stop. It was a constant feeling in my foot. So then after like a week of it going on, I went to my mom, who is a nurse, and I said to her, "My foot is like it's asleep and it won't wake up." She goes, "What do you mean? Explain to me what you're feeling." I'm like, "It feels like my foot is asleep and I have like pins and needles in my foot." And it was like, if you look at your hand like this, or here, let me show you this one. If you look at your hand along here, I don't know if you guys can see, but it was like along there. And then this side of my foot, by my pinky and my ring toe were all numb. So she's like, "Okay, well, you need to call your doctor and see what's going on." She's like, "It sounds like it's neuropathy." I'm like, "So were these broken toes that healed cause neuropathy?" Well, if we fast forward, I don't know, a week or 2 later, I finally get into, or maybe a month or 2 later, because it's been a few months, I finally get into the foot doctor that I went to just did feet, and Mom said, well, you're going to the wrong doctor. So he sent me to a neurologist. Neurologist did, the full exam, poked me with, like, a poker and used, like, this vibrating thing to see if my nerves were, if I was able to feel things. And I was like, yeah. He did on my hands. I was like, yep, I feel that. He did on my arm. I'm like, yep, I feel that. He did down my legs. He did pretty much everywhere. When he got to my foot, and I was like, I could feel it, but it's like a numbing feeling. He looks at my mom and said, yep, she has neuropathy in her right foot. But we need to figure out what's causing the neuropathy. He's like, from her records that I have here, because he got the records from my doctor, she doesn't have any underlying medical conditions that could cause neuropathy. Which I don't. I don't have diabetes, I don't have lupus, I don't have anything that can cause this kind of condition. He's like, okay, I'm gonna make sure it's still recording. I'm going to schedule her at EMG, which is a nerve test. And I was like, okay. That made me kind of nervous because I've never had one, I've heard of nerve testing, but I never had to have one done. He goes, it's not really that big of a deal. They do like a shock to your foot, like a shocking therapy kind of deal to your foot, and then they take this needle. I'm like, oh, a needle, and they stick you with the needle, and it tells them about your large nerves, your nerve endings. So I went and had that done. Those results came back as normal. Of course, knowing my luck, they come back normal. Of course they do. So then I turned around and went back. When I went back for the results, probably about a week before I went back, my left foot started having the same symptoms as my right foot. Now, isn't this just wonderful? Both my feet feel like they're asleep, tingling, needles, needle pins and needles, and they hurt like you wouldn't believe at times. Well, they're like, okay, we're not going to do an MRI now. Instead, we're going to do blood work, which I still have to get done. I don't know when this video goes up, I may not have to go get it done. I don't know. But as of right now, as I'm recording, I still need to go get my blood work done. And we're going to do a skin biopsy. The skin biopsy will tell them if it is small fiber neuropathy. And that's what I wanted to ask, if anyone heard about this, has seen someone with it, knows someone with it, because I don't really get very good, clear information about this disease. It is a disease, because my mom was on the phone with me when the doctor came in and talked to me about different things. And Mom's like, okay, is there a cure to this? And the doctor said, no, there's no cure to it. There's treatment, but there's no cure. We're like, well, she's like, so what's the treatment you're going to give my daughter? What kind of treatment does she have the option for? Well, the doctor said, well, if she's in pain, we can give her pain medicine. Well, I don't want opiates. I'm not an opiate kind of person. I don't want opiates. I want nothing to do with them. The only time I've ever taken opiates is when I lost the tip of my thumb and for surgeries. To heal from surgery with the pain from surgery. And we could also do nerve medication. Well, I don't want to be on nerve medication the rest of my life either. So at this time we were using CBD and a device called Beamer. If you don't know what Beamer is, it is a device that you hook up to you. You don't really feel anything from the Beamer, but it helps with circulation. Gets circulation back to that area. And from what I've been told, there's been people that have small fiber neuropathy, or not neuropathy at all, who have had success with relieving the symptoms of it. Like I said, there's no cure. It may go away on its own. Fingers crossed that happens. So that's what I'm going through every day, is pain in my... Oh, and the pain went to my hands. So now it's in my hands and in my right lower leg. So I don't know what to think about what's going on. I mean, it's kind of scary. I'm afraid I'm gonna wake up one day and not be able to get out of bed or be able to move because of pain going through my body. This disease, I shouldn't say virus, but this disease is attacking my body from the inside out. I mean, you can't tell by looking at like my foot or anything that anything's going on. That's why a lot of people are like, oh, just suck it up or stop complaining or deal with it. That's why I try not to really complain about being in pain or suffering, because most people do not understand what someone else is going through. They don't understand what your day-to-day life is. If they had... See, you don't understand pain or, like, say, fibromyalgia. You don't understand what someone's going through with that until you have it yourself. And I can definitely vouch for that. You don't understand pain in the agony people go through and the discomfort, the day-to-day pain and not really suffering, but the pain that they go through each and every day when they wake up and they're like, oh, my leg hurts, my arm hurts, my body hurts, I just feel like crap. Can this just go away? And that's how I feel sometimes when I wake up. Or like, I work all night. I'm in like severe pain by the time I get home, because I've been up on my feet, walking around, running around, doing my job at work. So my Christmas wish is that I don't want this disease to go away, because I know it's not going to, but I would like for the symptoms of it to just stay where they are. Like, don't keep traveling up my body. Don't keep taking over my life. If it just stayed in my feet, in my leg, and obviously not in my hands, because I need my hands for work and need my hands to do what I'm doing right now. I mean, how am I going to diamond paint? How am I going to diamond paint with my hands hurting really bad? I mean, right now they don't hurt that bad. But my feet right now, just sitting here, they hurt. Sorry about that. Someone's dog is outside barking. But yeah, that's... I really don't know what to talk about for the next 20 minutes or so. So yeah, that's what's going on. Oh, and I guess I got some good news. Over the weekend, my mom's been using the Beamer 2 times a day for her shoulder, and my mom has, well, she doesn't have it anymore. She's in, she no longer has any colon disease at this time. But she was using the Beamer to help her relieve this disease that she had because she went and had a colonoscopy done. And the doctor came back with he did not see any disease in her colon whatsoever when he did the colonoscopy. She's feeling a lot better. She's able to do normal daily activities. She's been taking off her immune depressant drugs, which is good. She's still at high risk for the coronavirus, but now we still have to worry about her getting it and if she could survive having it. But her ability to fight the virus, if she ended up getting it, would be a lot higher now that she no longer has to take medicine for her immune depressant. I'm gonna get me a drink, so hold on. Oh, sorry. Loud noises. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. I had to get something to drink. Alright, so yeah, I'm working on Ready for the Ride. I could also mention in this premiere in January next month, I am going to be involved or diamond paint along with the Wolf Pack. She is doing a wolf along. At least I still think she's still doing it. And I will be working on Fire and Ice, which is, I believe that is a JoJo's Art diamond painting. I don't remember exactly, but it's 2 wolves. One is blue and the other one is orange. And when I get paid on January 1st, hopefully I make enough money, I can get my sparklers for it. If not, then I'll just have to do it the way it comes. I think it has 2 ABs already in it, but I always like to do a little extra. Like this one, it comes with 132 and 136, which are 1 and 2. So it's like an orange AB. And then it comes with this bluish purple AB. But I added 666 AB. And I also added 141 in it. 141 is mostly down. 141 is mostly going to be down in here. And snow. I think it's also up here in the reef. And 666 is gonna be like in here. There's like a red ribbon here, and then there's the red ribbon in the reef. So that's where the numbers are gonna be. I know I'm still working on like the barn door and whatnot. So, I was in Crashly's live on Sunday. That was freaking awesome. With Santa Claus. That definitely made me tear up, knowing those kids being stuck at the hospital, being sick. I mean, I've always said this, and I'll say this until the day I die. If there's really a God, then why do children have to suffer with cancer or eternally ill diseases? I mean, they're children. They don't understand. They don't know what's going on with their bodies, why they're in so much pain, and why they're getting poked and prodded at day in and day out, why they have this liquid going into their body, it's making them like sicker than sick, or why they're always getting poked and blood taken out of their arm, or some kids just, they don't understand what is going on with them. I mean, they hear the word cancer, or they hear the word disease that's not curable. But, I mean, I'm 35. I'm still too young to have a non-curable disease. I think small fiber neuropathy may actually be worse than cancer. At least cancer can be cured. At least they could find a cure and help you get rid of it. Get it out of your body. But with neuropathy, there is no cure. It may go away. I think I'll always have neuropathy. I'll always have the chance of having nerve pain. Yes, I had neuropathy in my hand when I lost my thumb, but that was due to an injury. And because of surgery, they were able to go in and cut the nerve, or they put a skin graft over my hand to give my hand more room, so the nerve wasn't so exposed to everything I did with my hand. And the nerve pain in my left hand is, I mean, it's still there. I still have pain in my hand. I will not say that I don't, but it is significantly reduced due to having 3 surgeries on my left hand in 2015, 2016. I had 3 surgeries every 3 months for close to a year. I had a surgery. I was going back under the knife. And I was okay with it, because I'm like, if this is going to eliminate the pain in my hand, I'm game. Let's do it. I mean, yeah, there's always a risk when they most of them, they didn't put me to sleep for. They did Twilight Zone. twilight is when they give you medication. You're out of it, but you're not asleep. You're still fully awake while they're doing the operation. But you don't remember it when they're done. They give you stuff in your IV, and you're kind of like asleep, maybe like a regular sleep, but not like you're not put under. Now, the last surgery they did on my thumb, they ended up having to put me under because he was doing a tourniquet. Meaning he was squeezing my arm with the tourniquet. And they said, well, him and the person that puts you to sleep were talking, and he goes, what? He looks at the surgeon, he goes, what's your plan? Don't know how I remember this, but I do. I do remember some of the stuff that they said, you won't remember this. Well, my memory, I remember things that they tell me I'm not going to remember. But, so yeah, they were talking, and he's like, well, I'm gonna do a tourniquet on her arm. And he looks at me, he goes, it's up to you. Would you like twilight, or would you like to be put out? And I said, which one do you recommend? He goes, I recommend you being put out. I think it's because he wanted the money for me being put out, but that's my opinion. And I'm like, so why is your opinion that I should be put out? Like, what's the reasoning behind it? He goes, he's doing a tourniquet. I'm like, okay. He goes, you do not want to be awake for that. It's going to be very painful. I was like, okay, well then I'll take your advice. Let's put me out. I mean, what's there to lose? He goes, okay, we're going to put you out. I'm like, sounds like a plan. So then he marked up my hand, and they rolled me back. I was out. I woke up. Was not in that much, well, I was in a little bit of discomfort. Obviously, my hand just got operated on. And yeah, I'm just blabbing about anything right now because I still got, almost to an hour, guys. Yay! Then I need to figure out how to do this. Sorry, I got a little quiet here. I'm pretty close to an hour. So, since I'm getting close to the hour mark of this video, which I guess we're not supposed to go any over an hour. Well, actually, I think we still have a little bit longer. But, almost to 60 minutes, which I guess is an hour. I hope you guys have a wonderful, well, since my premiere is after Christmas, I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. You got to see your family. If it's not in person, I hope you got to see them by Zoom, Facebook Messenger, Skype, a phone call, maybe something a little bit more than just a text. I mean, a text is fine, obviously, but something a little bit more personal than just a text message. Saying Merry Christmas. I mean, you need something a little bit more personal than that. I understand everybody, they're trying to get the second stimulus check out. Hopefully they get that out soon. Hopefully it gets approved and everybody gets their checks. And life will be a little bit easier. I can't say better because, it's probably not going to get much better than it is already. If you have the chance, I can't tell you exactly what to do. It's really your body. It's up to you what you put in and what you put in your body. I don't know if I can have the shot because I'm part of our group on Facebook that is for small fiber neuropathy, and I have seen on there that this vaccination can give me a flare-up of neuropathy. So I don't know what I should do about that. I need to talk to my neurologist and my family doctor about it and see what's going on, see what the options are, because I kind of want the vaccination because I don't want to have a chance of getting this virus. I think I've already had the virus, but I don't know because I don't know if I can afford the antibody test. But I don't know. Four more minutes. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your year. I will probably do more of the whipping chats. Maybe not an hour worth, because an hour is kind of difficult to do with my memory in my phone. But I can do like a 20-minute, half an hour. Let's give you guys an update, what's going on with me. Keep everybody informed what's going on. Let you guys know how this disease is progressing or not progressing. Hopefully I could say it's at bay and it hasn't developed any worse. But so far it has spread a little bit. My hands feel like they feel stiff. Kind of like how I can explain it from what I've heard of people having arthritis in their hands. It feels kind of like an arthritis pain. So I'll keep you guys updated. And if you guys see me in your premiere, I'm just there to say hi and see what's going on with you guys and try to keep up to date with other people in the community. This is an awesome community. I love this community. They always get together and help each other out, lift each other up. Definitely when there's a time of need. When there's a time of need, we all come together and pitch in and help out. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas season. Rest of your year, hopefully it stays good. If you're sick, hopefully you feel better. If you have the coronavirus, I hope your body beats it and you can move on with life. But that is my premiere. You guys have a wonderful rest of the rest of your year. Hopefully it's good. Stay positive, stay happy. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I don't know if there's going to be another premiere thing or anything going on for New Year's for people that can't go out. There might be, I don't know, I haven't heard anything yet. I do have a collab coming up in March. It's called Mad Mad for Disney. I think I'll have to look up our hashtag, but there's a hashtag for Instagram. Facebook, we're gonna come up with a Facebook group. We will let you guys know what that is. Have a good day. Bye.